Tech tips. Wow. Welcome to TriStation 1131. I'm using version 5.4, but it really doesn't matter what version you're using. Most of the features will be the same. In this tutorial, we're just going to go over a basic overview of the layout of TriStation 1131. So this is what it looks like once you actually have a project open. We'll have other videos to tell you how to do that, how to set it up. But for now, we'll go over the main menu. In File, you have your basic commands. You can look all that up. Edit, you'll want to pay particular attention to Find and Find in Application. Replace also is good. You can look at View, Project. I use a lot of View Download History, Compare Project to Last Download, or change the state to Download All. Project Options, Edit Project Macros, and Project Description. There's Document, and you can look at the properties there. And Tools, 1131 Options. This is where you can change some details there. We'll go over later. Sheets, that tells you about your specific sheet sizes and such. Also the sheet macros. Windows, it'll list the windows you have open. Help, it's not only the contents, but another cool feature about Help is the About TriStation 1131, where it tells you the version number along with the build and so on. So on the left side of the screen, you'll have Application. The application is the first tab of 3, and it shows you this tree. You have user documents, which is programs, functions, function blocks, so on and so forth. Programs is where you would have all of your programs that you have built. Your functions and function blocks go into your programs. Function blocks, I have this one opened as a test. You also have your library documents, including your functions and data types. You can also manage and organize the library by right-clicking on library. You have your tag name declarations. When you create them, they'll be listed under here. There's undeclared, unused, unresolved documents, certificates, implementation. The next tab on this menu is controller, where you'll see configuration. Double click to open. It opens up a new tab. Here you have your operating parameters. Note it tells you the version that you're working with and the main processor, which you've already selected when you first created the program. TriStation communication screen, node number, IP address for connecting, memory points, input, output, application data. Here it will list the hardware allocation. So right now all we have configured is a main processor with communication module, and that's about it. So I'm going to exit that. The third tab on that menu is will give you a lot of reports. I usually don't use this very much, but it is helpful when you're looking for something specific. So I'm going to put it back in application. In the main screen of your workspace, you have a small menu on the left here, which gives you an overview of what you've got going on in the sheet. Then you have a a menu down here. It says application. You can turn off and on both this application workspace and this by clicking these buttons here. They toggle them off and on. So in your main workspace, like I said, you have this menu and you have your main workspace. Above it, you have your selection tool. This little blank here, you can type in or you can select. So here it lists all the function blocks that are available. And you would just select one, say OK, and place it Then you have your ellipses where it brings up that menu again. You can hover over each of these and see what they do, but basically they're variable tools. This is for making wires, making comments, networks, Zoom, Sheets Manager, which will, if you have like multiple sheets, it'll allow you to manage that. Below the main area in this application menu, you will see an Applications tab, Controller, Find Results, Compare Results, Tag Name. Down here, it really just tells you what's going on in your program. So if you've built the configuration, if you've compiled, it will give you a text of what all has been done and what the result is. Also, if you go to Edit, Find, or find an application, it will give you the results down here of what you've been looking for. And then you can double click that and it'll go. We'll have a detailed video later. Also handy is the tag name tab, and you can just make it bigger. It'll list out the tag names and groups and lots of other information. And this is a handy way to edit information. And it's all displayed. You can filter. We'll make that short again. Jumping up to up here, like I said, these are the toggle on and off screens. You can also look at project history, security. There's some cut and paste, save project, save element, compile, build configuration. You can also find these in project, build application. It's just handier to use the buttons here. And then this is the properties box. Under the controller tab, there's also controller panel, which is when you are connecting to a physical hardware. And then there's emulator panel, which means that you are just emulating the software. You're not actually connected to a physical hardware, you're just emulating. Whereas controller panel, you are connected to the physical hardware. So that is a brief introduction to the workspace in TriStation 1131. Tech tips.